How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the first video on this channel. I'm Sean Cahooti, and you are Kicking It with Cahoots. And I'm very grateful and excited to have you here with me. And before I get started on today's topic, I wanted to give you a little introduction about myself and also a little bit of an introduction to the channel. I'm 39 years old, based off of LA. I'm an Armenian American that lived in Venezuela for a little bit. And football has been part of my life since I started having memories, really. But I also wanted to let you guys know that this is not my main job, and this is something new to me. I'm not very comfortable in front of a camera, let alone doing editing on a program that I'm not familiar with. But I'm learning as I go. So in the beginning, it might be a little rough, but as I get more comfortable and I learn, it'll get easier and more enjoyable for you to watch. Now, this channel will be about scandals, corruption, conflicts of interest, and getting information about the people that are in power in the world of football, specifically in FIFA and UEFA. We will be touching up a little bit on CONMEBOL and CONCACAF. However, I'm not too familiar with the other organizations that are under the umbrella of FIFA. But like I said, once I get familiar and there's topics to bring up, I will be able to do that. So in the beginning, I'm just going over previous events that have taken place, information that we have about scandals and corruption. And I also want to be able to defend and give you guys the point of view of Real Madrid. I don't know if you know, but Real Madrid is basically at war with La Liga, with the CTA, which is the referee committee in Spain, with UEFA about the Super League, which I really want to talk about because it's something that I think it was portrayed different to us. However, after doing proper research and getting a little more familiar with what it's about and how it's going to work, I gotta say that I am on the Super League side. And I also wanted to talk about the people that are in power and the conflicts of interest that exist within them sometimes. That's what it's going to be in the beginning. The hope or the goal is for me to be able to do live sessions, go over recaps on the weekends about all the major matches that happen, and provide information that I read through the newspapers and sports. With that being said, that's what today's topic is about. Today's topic is about the sports media in Spain and how it works. And that's about it. I don't think we should wait any longer. Let's get started. Boom. Okay, everybody, now that you're here, I hope you grabbed a coffee. I hope you're relaxed. Let's get into the main topic, which is the sports media in the world of football, in particular in Spain in this case. So, for the time being, I'm going to follow this page called footballgate.com that has done a tremendous job doing research and providing proof and information for consumers like myself to be able to dig in and do our own research from there, right? So, obviously there's about 2 or 3 different types of media right now, right? We have your traditional media, which is the newspapers, which is big in Spain. We also have TV programs, and recently we are getting used to having digital media, so social media, YouTubers, anything else of that sort, basically we have. And I want to get started with TV programs, one in particular named DAZN. I know that's not how you say it. That's just the way Spanish people say it on YouTube. So that's just how I'm going to say it. DAZN. It became a little habit for me to call it DAZN. So DAZN acquired part of La Liga rights back in 2022. Basically having something similar of what TNT or ESPN have with the NBA, which they get to highlight 2 to 4 matches a week in American sports in the NBA. And DAZN has something similar. So they'll have about 2 to 4 matches that they highlight every weekend from the league games. And currently, the person in charge of football in Spain is a gentleman named Gorka Garcia, a Barca fan and former editor-in-chief for Mundo Deportivo, a huge Barcelona newspaper. I think the biggest in Catalonia, in Barcelona. And as you can see, he shouldn't, but he's not hiding his admiration for Barcelona, right? And they also have a gentleman named Quim Domenic as responsible for the programming. Quim Domenic, out of all the names I'm going to mention, I think he's the most non-biased out of all of them. He is a Barca fan. However, he does know how to differentiate when to compliment and when to criticize any club, really. Not just Barcelona, but any club. I was going to say Barcelona, but any club. And so far, nothing too dangerous here. It's also worth noting that they also signed Alessio Sarina. Alessio Sarina used to be Barca's marketing director, and now he's the marketing director for DAZN. So we have 3 names. So far, nothing too dangerous. I think it's a little excessive since you don't have anybody from other clubs really in there. They do tend to have sometimes a guy named Guti, one of my favorite players from back in the day. Guti shows up in that program once in a while, or used to at least. But here's where it starts getting a little tricky. There's a guy named Sergio Quirante, which I have a little anecdote to share about him in a little bit. But Sergio Quirante is a Barca fan. However, he's the one that narrates and comments on Madrid matches through DAZN. I know that may not seem like a big deal to you, but things have happened in the past that should make you think twice. Okay? But I want to finish off with DAZN, and I'll say the things that I have to say afterwards. So don't forget this name, Sergio Quirante, okay? Narrating Real Madrid matches, being a Barcelona fan. My issue with Sergio Quirante commenting and narrating Real Madrid matches is that if something controversial or debatable happens, I feel like Sergio Quirante might not be fair. I feel like if it's something that's favoring Real Madrid, we're going to go with the same old narrative of, oh, here they go. It's another robbery. It's another control by Real Madrid. You know, they have everybody controlled. The referees are on their side or whatever. Or if it were to happen the other way around to Barcelona, this person during a Real Madrid match might be agreeing or, being on Barcelona's side if something went against them, and he might make it a big deal. And before I get into the story with Sergio Quirante, I want to go over this last one from DAZN, okay? Finally, we have John Glazer. John Glazer is the co-founder and vice president of the company, DAZN, and he's one of the main shareholders of Socios.com. Socios.com, back in 2022, purchased 24.5% of Barca Studios, which is now Barca Vision. Something that Barcelona valued at 400 million. It's some sort of crypto NFTs, some sort of images online thing that, from what experts have said and I've heard, it's no more than, at most, it should be valued at 45 million. Barcelona decided to value it at 400 million. No one was there to debate it. Nobody was there to question this. They said, fine, 400 million, let's bring the money in. So Socios.com, John Glazer through Socios.com purchased 24.5% of it. Except that money never got sent, thus making any signing from that summer of 2022 illegal, skipping fair play rules, and signing players like Lewandowski, Koundé, Rafinha. But essentially, they signed about 5 players and made them all legal. Well, in the case of Kessie, he came in free, so it doesn't really matter. But the main ones are Koundé, Rafinha, and Lewandowski. Rafinha, that's killing it this year. Lewandowski, that had an amazing season that year. I think they won the league that year. And Koundé, that filled the spot in that, I believe it was the left back. But that's neither here or there. Those signings were illegal, and we came to find out later on that that money never really arrived. I think at first they put 10 million, and they were expecting 60 million 6 months later, and then 6 months later they were going to put another 30 million, or I don't know. It's all a disaster. We'll get into that in another video, but that's John Glazer. John Glazer tried or did have business with Barcelona, and that is a conflict of interest. The better Barcelona does, the more fans watch your programs, the more viewings you get, the more ratings you get, the more money you get. Conflict of interest, however you look at it. And now going to Sergio Quirante. Back in January of 2023, okay, there was a match being played between Las Palmas, their home, against Real Madrid, and they're playing away. They're playing in Las Palmas' stadium. Something happened during the first half where the goalie of Las Palmas got into a little altercation with Rodrigo Goes, the player for Real Madrid. There was a little push from the goalie, and the Real Madrid player retaliated by giving him like a little smack in the back or a little shove in the back of the head, something like that. They both got yellow cards. Halftime comes around, and according to DAZN, before the second half started in that tunnel, Nacho, the captain of Real Madrid, approaches the referee, and they're just having a conversation about the yellow cards. At which point, Sotogrado, the referee, said something like, that was a clear red card. That's what DAZN reported, with audios and images and everything. What really happened was, same scenario, they're in the tunnel, they're about to walk out for the second half. Nacho approaches the referee to see who has yellow cards. Why did you give my player a yellow card? Your usual nonsense. At which point, the referee explained to Nacho, it's like, dude, if this was the other way around, you would be asking for a red card to the person that hit your goalie. That is manipulation of images and audios. And that's what DAZN did. Later on, they came and apologized for it. I'll share the little page here so you can kind of see it. But Sergio Quirante had to apologize and said that they misjudged the situation. No, you lied. You purposely lied. It is very easy for somebody of a club that you are trying to affect. It is easy for those people to think that you have an agenda behind it. Knowing that you have the head of programming being a Barca fan, knowing that you have the marketing director be an ex-Barcelona fan, knowing that the editor-in-chief is a Barca fan, knowing that one of the narrators, which in this case is Sergio Quirante, who made a video and released it on DAZN, 4 people right here in powerful positions, making decisions that are going to harm a club. It's very easy for us to come to that, to rationalize in that sense. And that's what happened. So these are the dangers that you have in DAZN, the conflicts of interest that exist there. Okay? And now we're going to move into Mediapro. So Mediapro, you're going to get to hear a lot about Mediapro, not just on this video, but a lot of them. So you're going to have to get familiar with these people. Mediapro is a Catalan company responsible for producing, broadcasting football competitions in Spain. And if there's any European Cup matches that are played in Spain, Mediapro is in charge of not only transmitting those images to the audience, but also to the VAR and VOR. Same thing in La Liga and so on. So far, Mediapro to you sounds like just another company, right? Well, the people behind Mediapro are this handsome guy named Jaume Rodes and this stud named Tacho Bennett, all right? Both of these guys are members of Barcelona, okay? Members. Not only that, Jaume Rodes was a guarantor for Joan Laporta's presidency, and Tacho Bennett is now the CEO of Mediapro, okay? Jaume Rodes and Tacho Bennett, through Orfeos Media, did the same thing that Socials.com did with John Glazer. Well, let me rephrase that. Jaume Rodes and Tacho Bennett have this company called Orfeos Media. And Orfeos Media did the same thing that John Glazer did with Socials.com. They purchased 24.5% of Barca Studios, Barca Vision, or whatever the hell it's called now. That happened, okay? So two people, and then by the way, Jaume Rodes has flat out come out and said that he was just supposed to put 10 million euros. That's what he did, and he doesn't know about anything else that Laporta, the president of Barcelona, is saying or reporting that they sold 24.5% of it. So on one side you have John Glazer, on the other side you have Tacho Bennett and Jaume Rodes through their corresponding companies investing in a fictional lever or this fictional thing called Barca Studios, Barca Vision, and that's how that happened, okay? They got 200 million euros like this, okay? Or on paper, they got 200 million euros like this, thus skipping fair play rules and being able to sign the players that I mentioned earlier. Okay? Here's the part that it's going to blow your mind. So, on one side, you have Joan Laporta's guarantor being Jaume Rodes. Tacho Bennett is Mediapro's CEO. They're both Barcelona members. They're both super close with Joan Laporta and have businesses with them through other things. We'll get into all those other things in another video. Okay? And on top of it all, okay, so Jaume Rodes and Tacho Bennett, not only are they responsible for providing the images that we see on TV during the matches, but also they are responsible for transmitting or transferring those images to the VAR room in Spain. So anything that the VAR does to review plays is done through Mediapro. Okay? Mediapro gives us the images and gives the VAR the images. Remember, these are Barcelona members and guarantors of the Joan Laporta's presidency and have many other businesses that we haven't even gotten into yet with Barcelona. Okay? Conflicts of interest up the... Okay? All right. So, with that being said, they also have their hands on something called Gold TV, which is Gold Play, okay? Another type of media that they have created, all right? So that's about, you're seeing the grip that Barcelona has created on these things, right? And also, through Mediapro, they control Movistar, okay? Okay, Movistar is one of the main telecommunication brands in Spain. So if you live in Spain and you want to watch La Liga, you have to purchase Movistar package that comes out to 145 euros a month. A month, okay? To put it in context, NBA League Pass, which is what I have to watch my Timberwolves, charges me about $125 a year, okay? If you are a fan in Spain, I feel for you because you have to pay 140 euros monthly to be able to legally watch football over there. Okay? Mind-blowing. That's besides the point. But Mediapro also has their hands on Movistar Football. And that's the telecommunication brand in Spain. And the entire sports side of, or the football side of it, is managed by Mediapro, thus being able to hire, fire whoever they want, whenever they want, through Movistar. Mind blowing. Anyways, the thing here that I want to get into, by the way, there's other ones too that I don't want to get into. There's Televisión Española. They have a bunch of anti-Madridistas, anti-Madridistas there. Nothing new. Nothing that I care to comment about. Okay? There's also a Chiringuito. It's a stupid show. I don't even want to bring it up. It's funny, but it's stupid. But I do want to share another story about the dangers of Mediapro being in control of the VAR, just for now. There's a lot more that I'm going to cover on that, but for now, this is what I'm going to tell you about. All right? Here we go. Okay. So I want to read this little part to you before I continue. A Madrid court has concluded on Thursday that the video refereeing system, the VAR, harmed Real Club Deportivo Español, basically a Barcelona club, used to be Barcelona's city rival, let's put it that way, during the match against Atletico de Madrid in the 36th round of last season by validating a phantom goal by Antoine Griezmann. The goal meant 0-2 in a match that ended up in a draw, 3-3. If Melero Lopez, the referee of that match, had not given the goal at the request of the VAR, directed by González, the white and blue club, which is Espanyol, could have taken 2 more points that would have been key to maintaining the category in the first division and not being relegated. Very, 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 very unfortunate for Espanyol. That is a huge financial bust for them. I feel really bad. But what are you going to do, right? According to Cadena Ser El Larguero, the VAR omitted some replays that raised doubts about whether the ball had fully entered or not. This court has also drawn the same conclusions regarding the famous incident involving Vinicius at Mestalla, which is in Valencia. Okay? According to the court, the assistant referee in the video refereeing only showed the images in which aggression by the Real Madrid player could be seen, omitting the rest of the previous images, thus giving Vini a red card for that game. The competition committee, for the first time in its history, canceled the red card shown to the Brazilian due to the biased images provided by the VAR assistant. In the case of the phantom goal against Espanyol, the committee did not evaluate this error, although the Catalan team contested the match because it felt disadvantaged by the actions. And how can you not, right? These are 2 events that have been ruled by the court in Madrid that this happened. Images were omitted to the referees in the VAR, and so when the on-field referee goes to see the images, has to go review the call, the images were omitted. I think in the case of Espanyol, he never even went to see it. I think those images were not given to them. And there you have it. Your main rival and your city rival being harmed. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And these are the dangers of the media having control of this. Not only through traditional press and so on, but also through Mediapro, a very Catalan, Barcelona-oriented company having the rights to share images not only to us, but to the VAR for the referees to be able to make the proper decision. Unbelievable. Okay, so I just kind of quickly went through the TV programs, and now I'm going to do the same with the traditional media, which is the newspapers in Spain. On one hand, you have Barcelona editorial lines in Mundo Deportivo and Diario Sport. I'm going to do you a favor and skip them. Their editorial line is Barça always good and Real Madrid caca. That's it. That's always the editorial line there, and that's it. Meanwhile, in Madrid, people tend to think that AS newspaper and Marca, these are both newspapers in Madrid, they tend to think that they're Real Madrid based. Now, I have my doubts. Um, Marca, the the owner of Marca, is the Italian named Urbano Cairo, who's the president of the club named Torino in Italy. Okay, Marca, all right. The main director of it is Juan Ignacio Gallardo, and he has been seen having a barbecue with the president and main shareholder of Atletico de Madrid, Gilmarin, all right, yeah, because you can see in this picture over here, nice little barbacoa barbecue for them over there. And they also, in as far as the Diario AS goes, they're just very much Atletico oriented. Anytime that something happens, again, Real Madrid, caca, Atletico de Madrid, woohoo, and Barcelona is a very respectable club to these newspapers. That's it. But the main one I want to talk about, okay, is called Super Deporte. Okay, Super Deporte is a Valencia oriented newspaper. All right. And they have shared front pages like this one, like this one, and like this one, among many, 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 many more. Okay? But these three I wanted to bring to you. And what I want to say here is Real Madrid has a player. Obviously, if you're a football fan, there's no way you don't know, but there's a player named Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. is a black player from Brazil that Real Madrid got when he was, I think, 17, and he played with the B team for Real Madrid his first year until he became of age that they were able to sign him to the main team. Now, this person has been bit, and during that B when he was in the B division, okay, he got bit in the head by one of the Atletico players, classy players that they have over there, and has seen some insane, exaggerated amount of racial abuse. Now, this is not to say that Vinny doesn't have things to work on. Yes, but if your answer to being racist and producing these type of front pages is that this kid is a harm and he bitches and whines too much or whatever you want to call it, um, that's not a that's not an answer. You don't just insult somebody racially because you don't like his habits. Let me tell you something, guys. Football players all have really bad habits. Don't get me started on Luis Suarez. Don't get me started on Neymar's acting career in football. Don't get me started on Arturo Vidal. Don't like there's many other players that we can mention here. I'll even throw Messi in there. I'll even throw Cristiano Ronaldo in there. And none of them got any type of hate the way Vinny is getting it. And it's all thanks to this media. And it's all thanks to the media. I mean, anything that Vinicius does is bad. If Vinicius Junior looks at a team that's not doing so well and tells them that you're going to the second division, that is very much brought to the front pages and talked about on shows nonstop. But if Gavi from Barcelona does it, which he has, as you can see in these images, this is honored and applauded. That's the dangers of the media. And this is how Super Deporte did all the things that they did. And it's a very dangerous game to play, and I just totally feel for Vini. So basically, these are the dangers that you have when the media does not get, when the media has no boundaries, when the media gets to do whatever they want and nobody questions it. And that comes from us, that comes from the audience. The audience has to be able to denounce and be a little bit critical with the media that they're receiving. All right. There's within all of those, there's Relevo, there's Panenka magazine, there's Diario Gol, There's a lot of Culemania. There's a lot of other new type of press that has come out that Barcelona has invested in. And just before I continue here, um, in March of 2021, the Mossos, which are the police force in Barcelona, raided the offices of FC Barcelona as part of the case then known as Barça Gate. They were investigating alleged crimes of disloyal administration and corruption between private parties. The police force revealed a contract with the company called I3 Ventures, the purpose of which was to create opinion statements on social media. Another report by the police force referred to payments to journalists and several contracts with different media outlets. This got Barcelona basically admitted to this through Ferran Reverter, ex-board member of Barcelona, but he admitted that there were payments made to journalists in the past. And to top it off, it's totally justified. When asked about these payments, the new board of directors expressed its willingness to continue collaborating with the media and to pay what is fair and necessary for advertising. Word by word, you heard it. And Barca has always collaborated financially or through exchange of contracts with the media. Some of them are large in terms of media. Some of them, the largest in terms of media, have signed monetary agreements with the club in exchange for advertising space. Others receive tickets for matches or official products to raffle off among their listeners. In 2021, contracts with the written press included the following media: Mundo Deportivo, Diario Sport, La Vanguardia, Diario Ara, and El Periódico. All right? Annual payments range from 50,000 euros to 175,000 euros, according to Adria Soldevila, a journalist for Ser Catalunya. Some digital media, such as Crónica Global Media, Culemania, and Diario Gol, had contracts with Barcelona for the dissemination of advertising messages. Wow. Racuno, Cadena Ser, Onda Cero, and Cadena Cope signed advertising contracts with Barcelona worth between 20,000 and 95,000 euros. Several of these contracts are still in force today. And to put it in context for you guys, during the Bartomeu era, which is the president before Joan Laporta, Barca paid almost 7.2 million euros to the media. All right. Now, here's a screen of what the police force got from that raid. As we can see, this is the breakdown. It's in Catalan, so I know what it's saying. I just don't know exactly how to continue from here. But this is the breakdown, and this is an Excel sheet that was that was gathered by the police force, and the objective is the one that released it. All right. And in conclusion, guys, knowing who owns or runs the sports media outlets is a key aspect for fans to assess the credibility of a media outlet. That's a very good sentence. Jaime Rodes maintains excellent relations with Javier Tebas, who is La Liga's president, and allows Tacho Bennett, the president of Mediapro, considerable control over the media. The president of La Liga has spent more than 150 million euros on advertising, propaganda, and public relations with large and small press publishers in just 5 years. So, with all of these things that we have gone over, right? With all of these media brands that we have mentioned, we can see in this image how much of a grip they have in it. Essentially, they have no one else has much to do, really. And we could see Racuno here, Onda 6, Onda Cero, Cadena Cope, Catalunya Radio, TV3, Mundo Deportivo, Diario Sport, El Periódico, Aracat, RKB, Culemania, Crónica, Diario Gol, El Triangle, and then on the right side we see the things that we covered earlier from like the TV programs, right? So you have these two handsome guys here, Jaime Rodes and Tacho Bennett, with Orfeos Media, Mediapro, Gold TV. You have the people that are working in DAZN, right? So, you know, this is the world that we live in. So anytime that someone tells you something like, "Oh, Real Madrid are the favorite team and the media always protects them and this and that," it's a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS. Since 2013, the two medias that they had on their side, which was AS and Marca, Florentino Perez and Real Madrid have cut ties with them. And that is the world that we live in. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you like this type of content, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Estas imágenes que estamos viendo hacen alusión a lo que decía Dani Rodríguez, que estoy con él, que es verdad que jugadores jóvenes, yo soy muy partidario de que Asensio en balones disputados sea fuerte, sea valiente, no se arrugue, pero a lo mejor cuando entra ya la dialéctica de por medio, pues que deje a Rüdigers, que deje a Bellingham y compañía, para que a lo mejor tomen esa voz, ¿no?, en una trifulca y no sea él el protagonista, además con palabras que se han podido leer perfectamente, que bueno, pues no...
El futbolista del Getafe y le dice, ¿quién eres tú? ¿Quién eres tú? ¿Quién eres?
Y se lo mira de abajo arriba.
Eres malísimo. Anda, espabila, eres malísimo. Le decía el jugador del Barça al del Getafe.
Pero eso son cosas que siempre ha pasado, bueno, palabras, cosas así. Ahora las cámaras podemos leer en los labios, pero la de Ismael son provocación muy encima del jugador, realmente.
Nada de la jornada, que no va a comentar ningún medio de comunicación porque la ha hecho Griezmann y no Vinicius. Es esta llave de judo. Mirad cómo Griezmann agarra al jugador. Creo que es bastante evidente que lo agarra del cuello y lo quiere tirar al suelo. Y evidentemente lo consigue. Una llave que no te firma ni el medallista de oro de judo. Eso lo hace Vinicius y tenemos 4 chiringuitos seguidos pidiendo su deportación. Tenemos a todos los programas metiéndole palos, preguntas a Simeone y a Hansi Flick de qué le parece la entrada de Vinicius, pero como lo ha hecho Griezmann, que es el amigo de los niños, es el hijo que toda madre quiere tener y es del Atlético de Madrid, no van a preguntar absolutamente nada a Ancelotti de ¿qué te parece esta entrada salvaje de Griezmann? Y que no pasase nada, que el árbitro no señalase nada, que el VAR no entrase. No lo van a preguntar, porque si no se pregunta, no existe la entrada. Lo que sí te van a poner son las declaraciones de Simeone hablando de los 100 años de robos del Madrid, pero esa entrada salvaje, esa llave de judo, nadie la va a comentar. No se va a comentar en ningún medio. Es perfecto cómo los del Atlético manejan los medios de comunicación. Y a las pruebas me remito.
¿Los periodistas después de los partidos van a poder preguntar lo que quieran o solo lo que deje la liga?
¿De quién? ¿De los que están con el micrófono de la liga?
Sí.
Preguntarán la línea editorial que marca la liga.
Lo que mandemos, le falta decir lo que estaba pensando.
O sea, iba a decir. Perdón, yo que trabajo en Movistar.
Qué malo soy.
No, perdón, yo trabajo en Movistar. Si el año que viene me mandan a hacer un partido a pie de campo, tengo que hacer las preguntas que me digan.
No, yo no digo las preguntas, tú sabrás lo que no debes preguntar.
Yo creo que hay que preguntar lo que sea noticia.
Bueno, como preguntes algo que no está dentro del manual, pues no volverás a salir.
O sea, se fulminan al periodista.
Es que es brutal que lo diga así, con esa tranquilidad.
Oye, si el canal está controlado por la liga, lo que vamos a tener con un micrófono de la liga, no le vas a decir una cosa que no creemos que sea lo apropiado a preguntar.
No, pues aquí la vergüenza es que el canal se deje que la liga se apropie de él. Esa es la vergüenza.
No.
Si yo pago a la liga 1.000 millones,
pues va a decir a mi liga lo que tengo que preguntar.
Este debate ya lo tuvimos. Bueno, pues me voy a...
Minuto 59 del Valencia Real Madrid. Jugadón del Real Madrid y golazo de Mbappé. Era el 1-1. El Real Madrid estaba con 11 y quedaban al menos 30 minutos por delante. Pero el VAR de Clos Gómez, en donde estaba Muñiz Ruiz, avisa a Sotogrado que en un minuto determina que hay fuera de juego de Mbappé a través del fuera de juego semiautomático. Pero si analizamos las imágenes y teniendo en cuenta quién dirige el Comité Técnico de Árbitros, quién produce las imágenes del sistema VAR y quién es el jefe del VAR, hay serias dudas sobre la correcta aplicación de la herramienta. Veamos. Este es el frame elegido por Muñiz Ruiz. uno de los árbitros del cuerpo de guardia de Medina Cantalejo, para mostrarnos la jugada y justificar la posición supuestamente incorrecta de Mbappé. Una imagen que llega 4 minutos después de producirse el gol. 4 minutos. Algo que ya de por sí es inexplicable para un proceso que teóricamente es semiautomático. Y 4 minutos después nos muestran esta toma, en este frame, en el que Mbappé está en fuera de juego por la punta de su bota. Pero si vemos la acción y elegimos este frame, el francés está en posición correcta. De hecho, desde esta toma se ve de forma clara dónde está la pelota en cada momento. Es más correcta la toma en la que Mbappé está habilitado, porque en la otra, el balón ya ha salido de la bota de Bellingham. Y es que, como confirmó el propio Clos Gómez, el jefe del VAR, el árbitro del VAR puede cambiar el frame de las jugadas analizadas. Escuchen, escuchen.
El humano le presenta las imágenes y le dice, el sistema le ha dado este punto de contacto. ¿Me lo confirmas? ¿Se aumenta en un frame o se quita un frame? El frame anterior todavía no le ha tocado. ¿Se aumenta en un frame o se quita un frame?
Es decir, interviene el factor humano. Juzguen ustedes mismos. ¿Cómo no dudar de este sistema? ¿Cómo no dudar de Muñiz Ruiz desde el VAR de Clos Gómez? ¿Cómo saber que el frame elegido